one more example on checking the v equivalency of two schedule. Here two schedule S1 and S2. Let's check these two schedule are v equivalence or not. For checking the v equivalency of two schedule, we have three condition on data item. Here on data item is A, only one data items. So check v equivalency of this two schedule S1 and S2. Our first condition is which transaction is reading initial value of that data item. In the schedule 1, this is the read operation, is the only read operation which is of belongs to transaction T1. So transaction T1 is reading initial value of data item A. In schedule 2, which is, this is the read operation and is the only read operation, so we can say transaction T1 is reading the initial value of data item A in schedule 2. So our first condition is met on both the schedule. T1 is reading the initial value of data item A. Our second condition is which transition is writing at the last for data item A. Here this is the write operation, this is the write operation, and this is the write operation in schedule S1, and which operation is performed at the last, which is belongs to transaction T3. So T3 is writing at the last for data item A. In schedule 2, this is the write operation data item A, this is write operation data item A, this is write operation data item A, which will be executed at the last, this one. So we can say transaction T3 will write at the last. Our third condition says that if a value is a transaction read the value which is written by the other transaction. Here this is the only read operation which is the initial read, so we can say there is no such condition in a schedule S1. And in a schedule 2, this is the read operation which is initial value, means it is reading from the disk, no other read operation, so we can say there is no such condition. So our third condition is also satisfied, our second condition is also satisfied. So we can say schedule S1 and S2 are two v equivalent schedule. A schedule S is view serializable if it is view equivalent to a serial schedule. And the meaning of this point is says that a schedule S will be view serializable if it is equivalent to any serial schedule. So go back to our example, first example here, this one, S1 and S2. S1 is view serializable or not, so we have to check first. It must be a v equivalent to other schedule. Here it's v equivalent to S2, and if S2 is a serial schedule, then we can say our S1 is a view serializable. These two schedule are v equivalent and S2 is serializable, serial schedule, then we can say this S1 is a view serializable. So here we can say T1 executing all operation, then T2 start, means one after another. Transaction T1 complete its all operation, then T2 perform its all operations. So this is a serial schedule, and S2 is view equivalent and S2 is a serial schedule. So we can say S1 is our view serializable. Check in this schedule S1, S2 and S3, all three schedules not v equivalent. So S1 is not a view serializable schedule, S2 is not also not a view S1 is not a view serializable because it's not equivalent to any other schedule, serial schedule, and S2 is a serial schedule. T1 is performing its all operation, then T2, and here T2 is performing all operation, then T1, but it's not equivalent to any schedule, so we can say S1 is not a view serializable. In this case, S1 and S2 are, as we check, this is a view equivalent, and S1 is view serializable if S2 is a serial schedule. Here as we can say, T1 perform its all operation, then T2 performing its all operation, then T3, means here T1 completing its all operation, then T2, then T3, and this is a serial schedule, so we can say S1 is a serializable schedule. So a schedule as is a view serializable if its view equivalent to a serial schedule. Our second point is every conflict serializable schedule is also view serializable. Means if a schedule is conflict serializable, means it also we can also say that is a view serializable. This example, the schedule which is view serializable but not conflict serializable. It's not, reverse is not true. A schedule is view serializable if it is conflict serializable, but the schedule which is view serializable is doesn't mean it's a conflict serializable. Here this is example, this example says it's a view serializable but not conflict serializable. So what the condition for conflict serializability is, as we have discussed in the previous video. Let's check for this example. Find the conflict operation. Here let's see these two operation are conflict or not conflicting operations. First condition is belong to different transition. Yes, this belong to this transition T27 and this belongs to 28. So the first condition is true. The second condition is it must be operate on same data item. Here it's operating on the same data item Q. So our second condition is satisfied. Third condition says that one of the operation is the right operation. Here both the operation is right. So our third condition is also satisfied, means these two operations are conflict operations. So we cannot swap these operations. Check for these two operations. Here both belongs to different transaction and operating on the same data item Q, and both are right operation. So we can say this is the conflict operation. We are not able to swap this operation. So this schedule is not schedule is a not a conflict serializable schedule.